Okay, I think I'm going to try to do a read on a historic person. So let's try Cleopatra. Let's see how this turns out. I'm going to pull the tarot first, and then I will lay out Lenormand and see what I get for Cleopatra. The center of it all is about moving forward. Major arcana we start out with. The hidden things. The devil. So things tied to ego, exploring those types of things. Now, I swear I do shuffle these. Another major arcana. The light of, this is about the mental aspects, new things, exploring new things perhaps. Yes, feeling beleaguered. Now we do know that she did have these struggles when it came to actions and power, holding to the ultimate power. Okay, challenges, being hung up, maybe seen from a different point of view, things being overturned. A lot of another major. Did you see that I am pulling these? We have the magician making it happen. Oh my goodness. Above it, again, it's about control. And last card is about, I would say, holding together the, not her family, but the country as a whole. So again, this one we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yeah, 6 major arcana out of 11 cards. So going into it, this was a very heavy-duty life. We'll look at it again. It's about moving things, exploring some things that were hidden, okay? Maybe things that had been chained to, maybe trying to break free of some of the things. In the past, it's about shedding light. The challenge was about things hung up and being able to move things forward, okay? Making major sweeping changes. So let's see what we have. In her physical world, it was about prosperity and holding on to the kingdom, so to speak. Now, she had no emotional cards whatsoever. So it looks like she was all about judging what was best for the kingdom through the mental realm, okay, and control of the mental realm and wanting to make some transformations. So very interesting. As far as action, she was beleaguered, had difficulties, but she was in control of the actions. So very interesting for her. Now, when I put these back, see if I can do, I don't put them all together. I really put them in different areas of the deck, all of the major arcana. So it's not like you shuffle them and they're all just sitting in one area. No. So it's always interesting, just like the Nancy Mitford pulled all those major arcana. So apparently Cleopatra was not it wasn't driven by emotions. She was driven by intellect and looking what was best for the country, trying to move through these things. Now, she may have had some trouble with the ego stuff because being a woman and being the ruler, I'm sure she had extra stuff to deal with. But let's take the Lenormand and see what we get with Lenormand when it comes to Cleopatra. Oh my goodness. So that's interesting. Now I could see that maybe with her, not so much driven by, because you can't be a ruler and be emotional, driven by emotionals, you know. That wouldn't, she was very mentally centered with stuff, calculating probably every move. So going into it, we have the strength, the struggle. Could be strength, could be struggle. We're going to see what else we have. We're going across the top line first. When it comes to men, at the center of it, we have the contracts, conversations, with those that were friendly to her. So what's above it all, again, we have contracts, men, the struggle, strength that she had to have in conversing with those allies, shall we say. Is the center of it, the fly in the ointment. Okay, a bit of difficulty with the endings, deaths, endings. The star, the higher things. Maybe she could have been a bit of a narcissist as well, but we'll look at the other ones and see. Heavy duty as far as, again, another one as far as contracts, the grinding wheel, could be also the wheel of fortune, karmic things, and cutting. Okay. So the center, we have some of the difficulties, maybe putting an end to some of them, that she was directed toward the higher things and cutting some of these other contracts or difficulties, trying to work with those. Foundation, we have protecting. The doorway, her way, whatever way she could to do protection, the difficulties that she faced, sacrifices she had to make at the heart of things. Okay, so that's the foundation line. And now we're going to go ahead and read from the center of things. So in the center, we have the star. Above it, the contracts and the difficulties that she was having, the cross. Okay, so contracted, I would say maybe the star could also be the astrological things that she came in to do. Driven by the astrologies of the difficulties that she would have to face. Then we have, at the star, the center, we have on either side of it, we have these endings of contracts. This is always the card of endings, deaths, when it came to the wheel of karma, or the having to crush others. I think that they did have some wars and things, some sacrifices going corner, that she had to, as the leader, the star, she had to make some sacrifices when it came to men. And also she was a good conversationalist, the door to the conversations. So she was a good conversationalist. She did what she had to do when it came to ending things. So we're going to look at the surrounding the endings, these deaths, these endings, whatever it is. So endings, some of it had to do with the men in the doorway. Okay. We had also the fly in the ointment when it came to her life, ending some of those things. We have the strength card, or the struggle, ending that, trying to end some of these difficult times, the persecution times that she was feeling, and also endings when it comes to protection and the contract of protecting people. So she did, it's saying she would do what was needed. If it was a death, if it was to cut contact with somebody, she would do it. Probably a number of them would have to do with actual deaths. Okay, just saying. And then the last aspect we're looking at is the other wheel. Now again, this can be the wheel of karma, it can be contracts, it can be the grinding stone, the real heavy. And it could be heavy grinding stone, because we have the sacrificial conversations. Okay? So she would talk with them about what needed to be sacrificed. She would look at it and see what needed to be cut. Okay. Perhaps who were frenemies, difficult, the ones that she knew that would cause difficulties. And that was at the heart of her, that wheel was at the heart of her contracts, at the heart of all of it. So it's just looking like the whole thing is saying that she had strength, struggles when it came to allies, etc. At the heart of it, she was trying to protect her nation. Okay. Now we're going to go from this way across. So in the past, she struggled, she had fly in the ointments when it came to protection. Okay. So we're going to, she would struggle, the strength and struggling, but there were fly in the ointments when it came to her being able to protect. Then there were the men, the deaths, and doorways. So who knows what all she had to do in that realm when it came to perhaps murders, endings, etc. At the center of it, of course, we had her contracts that she came in, and the difficulties she came to face many difficulties. The challenge is we have the conversations, these really grinding stone things of sacrifices that had to be done along the way, whether it was sacrifices to her physicality, or getting rid of people that maybe she kind of liked, but that they were in the way. So sacrifice, you got to go, puppy. Okay. And we have her people that were in alliance with her that were cutting of the heart. Okay, so she didn't let the emotions get in the way. She was, so it's saying those that were in alliance with her, cutting of the heart. She didn't let the heart get in the way. She cut that out. She looked at, who am I in alliance with? Now we're going to look at some of these other things. It's about the contracts that she made. Maybe some contracts of the heart which were not really felt, emotional. She would do it to protect her thing because it was making these alliances that would help out with the situation at hand. When it came to men, there were many sacrifices on that level. When it came to her staying as a ruler, again, it was about being able to open the door with conversation, so she was quite an intelligent person. The deaths, she struggled with strength because of the difficulties, persecutions. Maybe she had to do some things she wasn't really thrilled with. And her whole contract with some of these deaths and endings was protection for her country. So an interesting read. She was apparently very intellectual, was not emotional, and she did whatever she could to move the country forward. And so let me know what you think of it. But I think that was interesting into the mindset and the path of Cleopatra. Very analytical type of a person. Really cut out the heart things and just did everything on an intellectual level. And I think it bore it out in the Lenormand as well as the Tarot reading of them together. She was trying to protect her country. She was the center, she was the star, maybe she was could be a little narcissistic as well, but it also could be driven by the astrology, or these are things she came in to do, to try to move the things forward as best as she could. So let me know what you think. She was a woman in a man's world, and I guess she figured she had really no time for emotion in that case, because that could have really railroaded things for her. Just saying. So thanks for tuning in, and we'll see you online.